I woke up to the sound of my apartment door creaking open in the dead of night, my heart pounding as I reached for the baseball bat under my bed. But then I heard her voice slurred and broken. "Elena? Please, it's me." Eliana stumbled in, her eyes red from crying, mascara streaking down her cheeks like war paint from a battle she couldn't win. She had a boyfriend, Mark, the kind of guy who checked all the boxes for a straight girl's dream. Steady job, charming smile, future plans, but here she was, climbing into my bed uninvited, her body curling against mine as if it belonged there. And in that moment everything I thought I knew about us shattered. My mind raced as I lay there frozen, her warmth pressing into me, the scent of her vanilla perfume mixing with the faint tang of alcohol. Eliana had always been my straight best friend, the one who'd tease me about my crushes on girls while she gushed about boys. We'd met freshman year at NYU, bonding over late-night study sessions and shared dreams of conquering New York City. I was out and proud, navigating the lesbian scene with a mix of excitement and heartache, while she played it safe in her heteronormative bubble. But lately cracks had appeared. Arguments with Mark about commitment, her lingering glances when we watched movies together, the way she'd hold my hand a second too long during walks in Central Park. Was this just drunken vulnerability or something deeper? I didn't dare move, my thoughts screaming. "Don't ruin this friendship, Elena. She's straight. She's not for you." By morning the regret hit her like a freight train. Eliana bolted upright, her face paling as she realized where she was. "Oh God, Elena, I'm so sorry. I fought with Mark again. He accused me of not being invested, and I didn't know where else to go." She rambled, avoiding my eyes, her hands twisting the sheets. I wanted to ask why she chose my bed over the couch, why her fingers had traced my arm in the dark, but instead I played it cool. "It's fine, Eli. Friends help each other." But inside turmoil brewed. I'd harbored feelings for her since sophomore year, burying them deep because she was straight, engaged in that perfect little life her conservative family from Texas expected. Her parents, devout Christians, had drilled into her the importance of marriage, kids, the whole picket fence fantasy. Coming here last night? It was a line crossed, and I couldn't unfeel the spark it ignited. We spent the day pretending nothing happened, grabbing coffee at our favorite spot in the village. Eliana chattered about work. She was a graphic designer at a trendy firm, always buried in projects, while I nodded, my mind elsewhere. As a journalist for a small online mag, I dealt in truths, exposing societal hypocrisies, but my own life was a web of unspoken lies. How could I tell her that her presence in my bed had awakened a hope I'd long suppressed? That night, alone in my apartment, I paced, inner monologue raging. "You're an idiot, Elena. She's using you as a safe harbor, because you're the gay friend who's always there. But what if it's more? What if she's questioning everything?" The thought terrified me. Pursuing this could destroy our friendship, alienate her from her family, force her to confront a world that still judged women like us harshly. Days turned into a tense routine. Eliana started crashing at my place more often, citing Mark's increasing jealousy. "He thinks I'm too close to you," she'd say with a laugh that didn't reach her eyes. One evening, as we cooked pasta in my tiny kitchen, shoulders brushing, she confessed, "Sometimes I wonder if I'm meant for this life with him. It's also expected." Her words hung heavy, and I fought the urge to pull her close. Instead I probed gently. "What do you want, Eli?" She hesitated, her brown eyes meeting mine, a flicker of something unspoken passing between us. That night she chose the couch, but sleep evaded me, thoughts swirling. If I push, I lose her. If I don't, I lose myself. Society's gaze loomed. Whispers at work, judgmental stares from strangers, the fear of being labeled homewrecker in our circle of friends. But the pull was undeniable, a magnetic force drawing us toward an inevitable collision. The first real crack came at a party thrown by mutual friends in Brooklyn. Mark was there, his arm possessively around Eliana, but her eyes kept finding mine across the room. When he stepped out for a smoke, she approached, whispering, "I feel trapped, Elena. Like I'm living someone else's script." My heart ached for her, but anger simmered too. Why drag me into this? Then change the script. I snapped, sharper than intended. She recoiled, but later, as we left together, Mark had stormed off after another fight. She grabbed my hand in the cab. "You're the only one who gets me." Back at my place, she didn't head to the couch. Instead, she sat on my bed, tears flowing. What if I'm not straight? What if I've been lying to myself? The confession hit like a bombshell, and as I comforted her, our faces inches apart, the air thickened with possibility. But I pulled back, mind warning. This is dangerous. Her family would disown her. Society would brand us. Am I worth the risk? The weeks following Eliana's confession blurred into a haze of stolen moments and mounting tension. We'd talk late into the night, dissecting her relationship with Mark, her upbringing in a household where anything outside the norm was sin. My mom would pray for me if she knew, she'd whisper, her voice cracking. I shared my own battles. Coming out to my liberal parents from California had been supportive, but the microaggressions at work, the isolation in a city that preached tolerance but practiced judgment, wore me down. Eliana listened, her hand often finding mine, a gesture that sent jolts through me. But we danced around the elephant in the room, the growing attraction. Inside I battled. Encourage her exploration, and I'm the villain pushing her off her path. Stay silent and watch her suffer in denial. The moral quandary gnawed at me. Was love worth appending lives? One afternoon while walking through Washington Square Park, Eliana stopped abruptly. Elena, that night I climbed into your bed. It wasn't just comfort. I felt something. Her admission hung in the air, my pulse racing. What are you saying? I asked, voice steady despite the storm inside. She looked away, conflicted. I don't know. Mark proposed last week. I said yes. The words punched me in the gut. Engaged? After all this? Betrayal stung, but I masked it with a forced smile. Congrats. That's what you want, right? She nodded uncertainly, but her eyes betrayed doubt. That evening alone my thoughts raged. She's choosing safety over truth. But can I blame her? Society rewards conformity, stable jobs, weddings, babies. For us, it's scrutiny, discrimination, the fear of violence in a country where rights are still fought for. The engagement party was a nightmare. Held at a swanky venue in Manhattan, filled with Eliana's family and friends, I attended as the best friend, swallowing my pain. Her mother, a stern woman with a southern drawl, pulled me aside. You're such a good influence on our Eliana. Keep her on the straight path. The irony burned. Mark toasted to their future, his speech dripping with possessiveness, while Eliana avoided my gaze. Later in the bathroom she cornered me. I can't do this, Elena. It's a mistake. Tears streamed as she leaned in, our lips brushing in a tentative kiss that ignited fire. Time stopped, but panic followed. We can't, I whispered, pulling away. You're engaged. She fled, leaving me reeling. This is wrong. She's cheating emotionally, and I'm complicit. But the taste of her lingered, fueling a desperate hope. Post-party, confrontations escalated. Mark sensed the shift, accusing Eliana of infidelity. It's her, isn't it? That dyke friend of yours. The slur hit hard when she recounted it, her face ashen. He's right to be suspicious, she admitted, collapsing on my couch. We argued, me urging her to end it, her defending the life she'd built. My family expects this. Society does. What if I'm just confused? Her words echoed my fears. Was this genuine, or a phase? I pushed back. Confusion doesn't explain why you kiss me. The tension peaked when she stormed out, only to return hours later, soaked from rain. I broke it off with Mark. Shock coursed through me. Why? She met my eyes. Because I want you. In that vulnerable moment, we embraced, but no further. Boundaries held by mutual fear. My inner voice screamed. You've won, but at what cost? Her family's wrath, societal backlash, our own doubts. Integration into this new reality was fraught. We kept it secret at first, testing waters in private. Dinners turned intimate, conversations delving into desires long suppressed. Eliana grappled with identity. Am I bi? Lesbian? Does it matter? I reassured her, but internally questioned. Am I her experiment? Friends noticed changes, subtle touches, shared secrets, and whispers began. One night, at a bar in the East Village, a mutual acquaintance confronted us. Are you two together? Eliana froze, denying it vehemently. Hurt pierced me. Why lie? I demanded later. I'm not ready for the world to know. Her fear mirrored mine from years ago, but it stung. Society's pressure weighed heavy. News headlines about anti-LGBT bills. Stories of disowned queer youth. Was our love strong enough to withstand? The first major blow came from her family. Eliana's sister, visiting from Texas, stumbled upon a text from me. Affectionate and revealing. "What is this?" she demanded. Eliana downplayed it, but the seed was planted. Calls from her parents followed, probing questions about Mark's absence. "We're taking a break," she lied, but the strain showed. Inside she unraveled. "They'll hate me, Elena. I'm their perfect daughter." I held her as she cried, my own resolve cracking. Am I selfish for wanting this? The moral dilemma intensified. Love versus family loyalty, authenticity versus safety. As we navigated these waters, tension built, foreshadowing greater storms. The secrecy couldn't last. Eliana's family descended for a surprise visit, her parents insisting on meeting Mark to discuss wedding plans. Panic set in as we scrambled to maintain the facade. "Just pretend we're still friends," she begged, but the lie chafed. During dinner at a midtown restaurant, her father grilled her. "Where's that fiancé of yours? We raised you better than to string a good man along." Eliana faltered, her hand trembling under the table as she reached for mine instinctively. I pulled away, heartbreaking. Later, alone in my apartment, she confessed. "I can't keep this up. But coming out? It'll destroy them." My thoughts swirled. Destruction or liberation? Society glorifies family unity, but at the cost of personal truth? The ethical tightrope we walked grew thinner. Confrontation erupted when her mother found a photo on Eliana's phone. Us at a pride event, arms linked. "What is the meaning of this?" she shouted over a video call. Eliana crumbled, admitting everything. "I'm in love with Elena." Silence, then outrage. "This is a phase. You've been influenced by that sinful city. Come home, we'll fix this." The call ended with threats of cutting her off financially, emotionally. Eliana sobbed in my arms, questioning her choice. Was this worth it? Losing my family? I reassured her, but doubt crept in. Had I pushed too hard? The societal mirror reflected harshly. Queer relationships often painted as disruptive, immoral. Friends divided too. Some supported, others distanced, whispering about converting the straight girl. In the aftermath, Eliana withdrew, wrestling with guilt. "I betrayed Mark, my family, even myself," she'd murmur during sleepless nights. I encouraged therapy, but she resisted, fearing labels. One session I attended with her, the counselor probed. "What do you fear most?" Eliana's answer. "Being wrong about this love." It echoed my insecurities. What if it's not real? As a journalist, I'd written about LGBTQ struggles, but living it was raw. Work suffered. My editor noticed my distraction, assigning fluff pieces instead of hard-hitting exposés. Inside, I battled. Sacrifice career focus for this relationship? The trade-offs mounted, each decision a moral crossroads. A turning point came at a family gathering. Eliana insisted on attending alone in Texas. "I need to face them," she said, determination masking terror. Days without contact tortured me, imagination running wild. Disownment? Conversion therapy horror stories? When she returned, bruised in spirit, she recounted the ordeal. Dad called it an abomination. Mom cried, saying I'd burn in hell. But a spark ignited. I stood up for us, Elena. Told them love isn't a choice. Pride swelled, but so did fear. Her sister's ultimatum. Choose family or that lifestyle. Eliana's resolve wavered. What if they're right? What if this is a mistake? Our arguments intensified. Voices raised in my living room. You're letting them win, I accused. And you're pressuring me to abandon everything, she shot back. The drama peaked, doors slamming, tears flowing. Reconciliation attempts followed, tentative and fraught. We sought solace in small acts, walks in the park, shared meals, but undercurrents of tension persisted. Society's weight pressed. News of a local hate crime against a lesbian couple shook us. Could that be us? Eliana whispered. I nodded grimly, inner monologue raging. Love in hiding isn't love, it's survival. But exposure risks everything. Moral quandaries deepened. Was hiding cowardly or prudent? Friends intervened, one pulling me aside. You're both hurting. Is this sustainable? Doubt seeded, but passion reignited in quiet moments, reminding us why we fought. The ultimate betrayal blindsided me. Returning early from a work trip, I found Eliana packing. I'm going home, she said, eyes averted. To think. Panic surged. Think about what? Us. She nodded, confessing a call from Mark, forgiving, offering normalcy. Maybe I need that stability. Rage boiled. After all this? You're running back. She defended. It's not running, it's choosing peace. The argument escalated. Accusations flying, me calling her coward, her labeling me demanding. As she left, door closing with finality, devastation hit. Had I lost her to fear? Society's norms triumphed again, but at what personal cost? Isolation gripped me in the weeks after Eliana's departure. My apartment felt empty. Echoes of our laughter mocking me. I threw myself into work, penning an article on queer invisibility in society, pouring my pain into words. But nights brought torment. Was I wrong to fight for us? Did love justify the chaos? Friends checked in, offering platitudes, but their pity stung. One confided. She was never fully in Elena. Straight girls experiment. The stereotype burned, fueling self-doubt. Moral reflection consumed me. Had I enabled her denial, or forced her awakening? Society's double standards loomed. Straight relationships forgiven betrayals are scrutinized as predatory. Eliana's sporadic texts arrived, cryptic and longing. Miss you. Families pushing therapy. Alarm bells rang. Conversion attempts? I urged resistance, but she deflected. It's just talking. Tension built via phone calls, her voice strained. They say it's a choice that I can change. Outrage flared. Love isn't changeable. But her hesitation revealed cracks. What if they're right? What if I hurt everyone for nothing? The ethical debate raged internally. Intervene and risk alienating her further, or let her navigate, potentially losing her to indoctrination? As a journalist, I researched horror stories of ex-gay programs, the psychological scars they inflicted. The stakes heightened, her mental health versus family bonds. A desperate trip to Texas became inevitable. Booking a flight, I confronted her parents at their doorstep. Eliana's shocked face appearing behind them. This isn't your business, her father barked. But I pleaded. It's about her happiness. Chaos ensued, shouts, tears, Eliana defending me weakly. I love her, Dad. The admission sparked fury. You're confused. That woman's corrupted you. Escorted out, I waited in a nearby motel, heart pounding. Eliana snuck over that night, conflicted. You shouldn't have come. But. Thank you. We talked till dawn, dissecting damages, family rifts, societal rejection, personal doubts. Is our love worth this war? She asked. My answer? Yes, if we're both fighting. But her eyes held reservation, foreshadowing more pain. Back in New York, Eliana followed, but changed, distant, haunted. Therapy made me question everything, she admitted. Sessions revealed suppressed traumas. Childhood bullying for tomboy traits, parental expectations crushing individuality. We navigated therapy together, uncovering layers. But progress stalled when old friends from Texas visited, pressuring her return. Mark still waiting, one hinted. Jealousy surged, but I suppressed it. Confront and push her away? The moral choice loomed, trust or control. Arguments resurfaced, her accusing me of impatience. You don't understand the pressure. I countered. And you don't see the damage of indecision. Climax hit at a pivotal moment. A job offer for Eliana in San Francisco, away from family influence. We could start fresh, I suggested. But she hesitated. What about them? I'd be abandoning my roots. The decision tore her, loyalty versus self. In a heated exchange, truth spilled. I climbed into your bed because I was scared of who I am. But now facing it. It's terrifying. Vulnerability bridged us, but society intruded via a leaked family email, outing her to extended relatives. Backlash flooded. Disinvites, harsh messages. Eliana broke. This is the price. Pain for everyone. I held her, whispering assurances, but inner turmoil peaked. Am I her anchor or anchor weighing her down? Resolution beckoned through small rebellions. Eliana confronted her parents via letter, asserting identity. I'm lesbian and I love Elena. Response was silence, then a tentative call from her mother. We need time. Hope flickered, but realism tempered it. Our relationship strengthened. Boundaries set, no more hiding. Public outings followed, hand-holding in defiance. Society's stares challenged, but unity fortified us. Yet costs lingered. Strained friendships, career distractions, emotional scars. Reflecting, I pondered. Was the journey justified? The awakening profound, but the toll immense. As months passed, Eliana and I built a fragile new normal in New York. Therapy continued, peeling back layers of internalized homophobia she'd carried unknowingly. I thought straight was the only option, she'd say, eyes distant. I shared my own scars, past rejections, the exhaustion of constant advocacy. Together, we attended support groups, hearing stories mirroring ours. Families torn, societies judging, but resilience prevailing. Yet doubts persisted. Had we chosen right? Moral ambiguities haunted, betraying Mark's trust, challenging family doctrines. Society evolved slowly, with wins like marriage equality, but backslides in policies reminded us of fragility. Tensions resurfaced when Eliana's sister announced a wedding, inviting her conditionally. No +1 if it's her. Eliana agonized. Attend alone or boycott. Family's blood, she argued. I countered. But love's chosen. The decision strained us. She went solo, returning wounded by snubs. They treated me like a stranger. Anger boiled. Why subject yourself? Our fight escalated, doors slamming again. Reconciliation came slowly with apologies. I'm learning to prioritize us. But the incident highlighted ongoing battles, balancing heritage with authenticity. Professional repercussions hit next. My article on our story, anonymous but raw, went viral, drawing praise and hate. Trolls messaged threats, echoing societal vitriol. Eliana's firm, conservative clients pulling projects after rumors. Is this the life we want? She questioned. I nodded firmly. It's the life we're fighting for. Inner strength grew, but at costs. Sleepless nights, therapy bills, lost connections. Ethical reflections deepened. Was visibility activism, or recklessness exposing us to harm? A pivotal awakening occurred during Pride Month. Marching together, flags waving, community embracing, Eliana turned to me. This feels right. No more hiding. Tears mingled with cheers, a cathartic release. But post-event, her father's call shattered peace. Saw you on the news. Disgusted. Disownment followed, inheritance cut. Eliana grieved. I traded family for freedom. Comforting her, I whispered, freedom to love. The trade-off's weight pressed, but solidarity bonded us deeper. Years condensed into growth. We moved in together, careers rebounding. Me promoting queer voices, her designing inclusive campaigns. Scars faded, but lessons endured. Love demands sacrifice, society demands change. Friends reconciled, some. Others lost forever. Eliana's mother reached out tentatively, a bridge mending slowly. Reflecting on the journey, from that shocking bed climb to this hard-won peace, emotions swelled. Pain, joy, regret, triumph. In the end, as we sat on our balcony overlooking the city, Eliana asked, was it all worth it? I smiled, hand in hers. But the question lingers for us all. In a world quick to judge, is pursuing forbidden love a courageous act of truth, or a selfish disruption of established lives?